I did one transactional lending deal.
Hmm.
It actually happened to be my very first one, and I made more on that deal than my IRA. I made more on that deal in like 70 days than my
Hmm.
IRA made in a whole year last year. That
That's amazing. That's
is
mind
like,
blowing.
yeah. And that's
Hi, guys. This is Madison Dugan with the Creative You podcast. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I have the wonderful, my friend that I have met, and we have connected from across the United States. I want to welcome Hannah here.
hello.
Um, Hi, Hannah. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me on today. I'm super
You're
excited to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you. So today I just kind of wanted to talk about how you're a little up about your background.
Hmm?
So how you grew up and your journey and your personal interest that has made you into who you are today.
Yeah. So, um, again, I'm Hannah. I'm originally from Kansas City, Missouri. Um, I grew up in Kansas City, Missouri for most of my life, and grew up in a home where I had I have an older brother, and then my mother, who is like my queen. She was a single mom for most of my life. As my dad was in and out of my life until the age of 12. And so my mom has been definitely the person I've always looked up to. And then I graduated high school, went straight to into college, and went to nursing school. Graduated when I was 21, and then transitioned into being a nurse. And I've been a nurse for 4 years now, which has been awesome. Very, very rewarding job, but also very physically tiring.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So I definitely I definitely love being a nurse. I mean, that will never change, even though I have transitioned into other like into real estate. Uh,
Mhm.
my core is in nursing because I really did become a nurse. Just because I'm very compassionate and I love taking care of people. My mom is actually a nurse, so I got that from her. And then my mom is still a nurse, even though she's
Awesome.
like at the age of retirement, she's still a nurse. And so I just admire that so much about her that I did get that from her for sure. I mean, besides being a nurse, I've worked like multiple other like jobs, like
Right.
your assistant, all these W-2s.
Yeah. Yeah. So with your nursing job, like what kind of nursing do you do? Do you
So
have a specialty?
yeah, so I started in like a neuro progressive care step down unit, and then for the last, I would say about last 3 years,
Hmm.
I have transitioned more into cardiac progressive care units. So just we call it a step down. So step down from ICU. They don't necessarily need to be in the ICU because they're not as acute and
Hmm.
critical, but they still can be, on the ventilator or on multiple drips. We just yeah, it's tough. It's probably the most
Yeah.
challenging thing I've done in my life, but it's also very fun for a person like me where I like control in a sense. So I like to, you get to be in control of somebody's care and be that advocate.
Right. Yeah, no, I completely salute you for that and taking on because I understand that it is very demanding and nurses are a huge asset into our hospitals and doctors' offices. So I support you and salute you in that. So with being a nurse, are you stationed in one area or do
So
you?
about 2 years, 2.5 years ago, I started traveling as a nurse. So I have been traveling for the last 2 years. So I've been I love Arizona. That's my like favorite place to go. So I've spent quite a few contracts there. And then I am in Seattle, Washington right now. And so then I
Awesome.
came back home after that. But yeah, it's been
Yeah.
a few years of traveling, so it's been fun.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like fun. Okay, and so you are starting to transition or you have been transitioning into the real estate industry. So what kind of strategy sorry, investment strategies
Yeah.
are you interested in or where did you even start in the real estate industry?
Yeah, so I actually started back, it was at the end of 2020. So my husband and I had been living, just in traditionally like in an apartment or duplex.
Mhm.
I'll never forget the day when my husband, we were in a park and he said, "Hey babe, what do you think about buying a house?" And I'm
Mhm.
like, "What?"
Mhm.
Because I never thought that he would ask me that. Because of just all the other, life transitions we had talked about. I
Mhm.
was like, buying a house. But his sole thought was, let's buy a house. Let's turn it into, you know, buy it as a primary and then turn it into a rental and long term. And then
Yes.
so we did that. So at the end of 2020, we bought a property. It's like a true ranch, and we flipped it and made it into this it's beautiful house. It's actually funny because I was told, do not get like addicted to it. Do not, it's
Right.
not gonna be our forever home. And what did I do? I got so attached, and
Yes.
it's my baby now. So, but it definitely showed me what real estate can do for you. And so
Mhm.
we have just taken that and just continued building. So it's a midterm rental now, and then we rent out to other traveling nurses actually.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, full time we do that, and then we actually just closed on two other properties that will be two more fix and flips. So
Nice.
super
So
excited.
is that your favorite would you say that is your favorite investment strategy is, fix and flips and turning them into midterm rentals?
I That's definitely one of our biggest strategies right now. My husband actually is a general contractor, so we have a little bit of a leg up there that he can do the
Mm,
renovations. The only
yes.
thing is that, in a sense, that kind of, because we're buying properties and he's doing the work there, it can take a little bit longer just because we, only have a couple
Right.
of us, but it is fun. It is very fun to see um, just the transitions and how you can take something that looks so broken and ran down and turn it into,
Mhm.
it's like, I would love to live there. um,
I love the transformation of, fix and flips of new homes, I or turning them back into something glorious and beautiful and making it into somebody's home. I love that transition.
it's definitely fun. It's like kind of funny how you can buy something and it looks so broken.
Yes.
You get like the inspection comes back and it's like, oh my gosh, this might have been the worst idea. And then you and then you just completely like turn it into something that's just spectacular. So
Oh, I love it.
it's rewarding. It's definitely rewarding.
Yes.
Oh, that's going to be like the end all be all.
Yeah.
But for right now, that's the strategy that's working.
So is there a strategy that you would like to start incorporating into your
Mm, yeah,
business?
definitely. I think we would like to do more of acquiring properties, more, maybe taking over the mortgage or doing more of like a seller finance deal where um,
Gotcha.
they still want to make money, but
Mhm.
they don't need the whole chunk of money right now. Which when you actually share that with people, like, and they understand what that looks like, they're usually down for it,
Right.
it's about finding the right people who want to do that and who understand what that takes. So that will be that's like one of the end goals. But for right now, fix and flip it is, and
Yeah.
also transactionally lending. So doing that too.
Awesome. So what are some of the financial habits and goals that has influenced your investment decisions?
So I grew up with a mom who's very, very like financially savvy.
Mhm.
That was incorporated like to me at a very, very young age. Like I grew up around, anytime we went to the grocery store, we were using like 500 coupons. I mean,
Wow.
like everything was discounted. We were always, my mom is very, very financially savvy just because like she was a single mom and I salute her to the way she raised us kids. She couldn't have done it any better,
I
honestly.
need some tips from her.
Yeah, so she's like that a little bit of the older generation where they believe,
Mhm.
you save your money, you're very, very smart about the way you move with money. So I started saving at a young age also.
Mhm.
And so that has been a big asset to me as I've gotten into real estate, as having extra cash in my pocket to be able to, whether that's like lending on deals or putting down
Mhm.
payments or whatever. So that's like one of my biggest habits that I've built, is being very, very smart about your money and the way you move about your money.
Yes,
Um, and I rarely pay full price for anything.
I second that.
Yes. Yes. I mean,
I
you have
am a
to be
big
smart.
thrifter and
Yes.
coupon user over
Yeah.
here.
Right there. Thing is where
Yes,
it's at. Do you know that the one of our like our midterm rental that we have back home, over half of that house came from the thrift store or Facebook Marketplace.
that's amazing.
Our appliances were all bought used. Of course you put them through the test, be sure they're good, but like
Right.
I love that. I love when I hear people, because that is the way, like that's the way to get out of this rat
Yeah.
race. Be,
Yeah.
financially smart about
And
things.
there's nothing wrong with the thrift store.
No,
I love it. I love
half
the
the
thrift
time,
store.
the stuff is new, brand new. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
it's definitely been
It
awesome.
has been definitely he's not worried about me being bougie or overspending because he knows that I'm just gonna go to the thrift store.
Yes.
So
I love it.
um speaking of your rental properties, I meant to ask you are you managing those yourself or do you hire that out to somebody
Yeah,
else?
so right now, we're managing them ourselves just because, it's a little bit easier to do it in the beginning on your own, just because
Mhm.
that is leaving more money in your pocket. It's also teaching me how to, properly move about with rental properties. It's definitely been some big lessons. We put all our tenants, they all go through a background check, they all sign contracts, they all put big security deposits down. And I learned a lot of that from being a travel nurse myself, knowing
Mhm.
what you want in a rental, what you're looking for, how the process works. So that's been good. I think in long term, um,
Mhm.
we'll definitely probably hire somebody. I've also
Okay.
put some thought, into maybe later on transitioning maybe into a property manager, because I've met a lot of other investors in Kansas City, or from out of
Mhm.
state, I should say, that are investing in Kansas City, and they're like, "Hey, if you want to help manage my properties, like
Right.
that would be, that would be a good another idea." So there's lots of avenues that I've been like kind of thinking about,
Yeah.
transition.
Well, that's awesome. I 100% agree with um managing your your very first property or some of your first properties yourself, just because that gives you an understanding of how things are working. And you can also tell once you hire somebody out if they're doing their job correctly.
Yes,
And
I
so
love.
I agree with that.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even
Um,
think of it like that, but yeah, it's true. Like seeing,
yeah,
because you know how to run it, then to see, when they run it,
right.
that's a good. I like
Does
that.
it look the same? Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what are some of the books like, or have you read any books that has shaped your perspectives of or
Yeah.
on this industry?
So I mean, I've definitely read Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's like a must.
Mhm.
That is like that's definitely will change your mind very, very quickly.
Mhm.
And the way money works and the way the world works. And then I have actually currently been reading the 30-day flip, on
Oh,
just having
okay.
better strategies of like when you're flipping a house. Um, things to more focus on versus not focus on, I think a lot of times when we are flipping properties or looking,
Mhm.
looking to update a property, we're, at least from my perspective, I should say, I am get more into that emotional attachment area where like, oh, I think this would look good. Where it's like, really, if it's for a rental, you need to put with stuff that's in there that is reliable and
Mhm.
will uphold the daily, wear and tear, but you don't need to be putting in,
Attached.
yeah, you don't
Something
need
that
to be
you're
putting the
attached
most
to.
expensive stuff in there because it's just
Oh,
not, it's not worth it.
yeah.
Um, so definitely that book's been really helpful just to kind of understand different strategies on when you're doing, your flips. So I'm only like halfway through the book, so there's a lot more to be learned. But yeah, it's definitely been a really good one for me as we transition more into the fix and flips.
Awesome, awesome. Okay. And then, so do you have any tips or tricks or advice to give anybody who is joining this
Yeah,
industry or networking,
yeah.
trying to?
I think, surrounding one of the like the very first things that I learned was you need to surround yourself with people who not only want the best for you, but are going to push you when things get hard because real
Mhm.
estate investing is not easy. And there's a lot of
Cutthroat.
highs. It is. And there's a lot of highs and lows to it. And yeah, it's one of the best things I ever did for myself, but it's also can be very challenging. Um,
Mhm.
because, it's I think a lot of people make it sound like it's just like that. Just get in,
Mhm.
it'll come natural, and it's not like that. You have to work hard for it, and your community is everything. Your community is what is going to keep you afloat. They're the ones who are going to support you when things are good, when they're bad. um, they're also the ones who, like, when if you need help on something, you can go to them and they will help you. But
Mhm.
I will tell everyone that if you're on the fence for to do it and want to join, because you won't be disappointed. You will get something out of
Exactly.
it. You will get something out of it. There is a lot of it, a learning and advice, and just you can elevate so much of your life. Even if say I hadn't joined transactional lending, like I still would be have learned so much that I could pass that on to someone else. Like I've told a bunch of my friends, I've joined this community, and I'm the type of person that once I go forward, if you're on my team,
Mhm.
I'm bringing you with me. So
Right.
once I get this down to a pack, you all are going to be doing it too.
Yeah.
I'm going to be showing you how to do it, and we're all going to go through this together. So I love real estate, and I'm so everly grateful that my husband pulled me into this because um it's been like it's been life changing. Like I'm
That's awesome.
so excited to see where everything's going.
I am too. I'm excited for you. So what would you say your 5-year goal is?
5-year goal. Definitely going to continue acquiring properties. There is an area actually in Kansas City that I'm like really, or North Kansas City, I should say, that I am like really anxious to get some properties there because it is
Mhm.
rapidly growing and it's an amazing area. So I would say at least in 5 years, I will own two properties there, two or three, and that's like limiting myself right there. But
Yeah.
continue acquiring properties, continue transactionally lending because that has
Mhm.
been just huge. I was just telling somebody yesterday, and then I made a little post about it, that I did one transactional lending deal.
Mhm.
It actually happened to be my very first one, and I made more on that deal than my IRA. I made more on that deal in like 70 days than my
Mhm.
IRA made in a whole year last year. That
That's amazing. That's
is
mind
like,
blowing.
yeah. And that's the kind of thing that like they don't teach people,
Right.
is they don't share about that. And I'm like, that's the kind of stuff they need to
Mhm.
be teaching in school because that would help everyone elevate in a different way. But I do see in 5 years, that I will hopefully be away from bedside nursing, and I
Mhm.
will continue being, um, buying properties, taking over, acquiring them, maybe doing some sub two, always creative
Yes.
finance. Creative finance is
Yes.
king. It is king.
Yes. Okay. And then the last question I had was, how can people, if people have questions for you or would like to contact you or follow you, how can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, so you can, I'm always on Instagram. That's my like biggest social media. So you can find me on there. It's Hannah Germinaro, and last name is Germinaro. And then you can also visit my website. It is www.kcvaluellc.com. And you can, there's a little link there that says contact me. You can get a hold of me from there too. So I look forward to if people who are reaching out or following. There's a lot of good information going around. If I'm not sharing my own, I'm sharing other people's information. So
Yes.
definitely social media is where it's at.
Yeah,
I am
definitely.
I love when people say that. That's where it's at. Social media will take you so far because that's where you're going to network the most.
Yes, I agree. Well, thank you so much, Hannah. I appreciate you coming on, and I have had so much fun chatting with you today. And I cannot wait to watch you succeed on your journey and keep crushing it.
I love it. Thank you so much for having me on. I look forward to continuing this and watching you grow. We're both like on this great journey, and I'm just so excited for us. All right.
Thank you. Thank you so
Bye.
much. Bye, guys.
We're done. Oh my God. We're done.
Until next time, stay fierce, stay humble, but always stay you.